Marina, who has been living with HIV since 2010, fled violence in the town of Zamio in the Central African Republic in 2017. But she's now risking her life to return for antiretroviral treatment.
Before, I was strong and healthy with the treatment. Due to the violence, I had to flee to DRC. We did not have anything to eat. It was very hard. I could not take my pills. That's when I got sick again. The viral load became very high.
The remote conflict-scarred town of Zamio has the highest HIV prevalence in the CAR, triple the country's average, where young girls and sex workers are among vulnerable populations living with HIV/AIDS.
There is poverty here. There is starvation here. Women have had to resort to sex to scrape 100 francs for their survival.
UNAIDS reports that every week, around 6,000 young women aged 15 to 24 years become infected with HIV. And key populations long known for higher rates of infections, such as sex workers, intravenous drug users, men who have sex with men, and prisoners, continue to account for more than half of new infections worldwide. And the UN's target for diagnosis, access to treatment, and viral suppression aren't being met fast enough.
We are off target in many parts of the world. For example, Eastern and Southern Africa, which has the highest burden of the disease, has done a lot of progress, and they are pretty much driving the progress that we have on the response. However, other countries which has a larger key populations are not addressing those, which are difficult to address. Those are the ones which need to really move forward and to scale up their interventions.
Of most concern are Eastern Europe and Central Asia, which account for 95% of new infections. But there is good news. The number of AIDS-related deaths have been halved since 2000 to about 770,000. The number of new infections is down, and the number of people accessing antiretroviral therapy has reached 24.5 million. The problem is that gains over the past decades have become smaller.
UNAIDS says much of the power to change lies in the hands of governments, but also communities that have been at the forefront of the HIV/AIDS fight from the very beginning. And World AIDS Day this year champions their efforts to empower those living with HIV/AIDS to access information, health care, and lend their voices to drive HIV/AIDS policy in their countries to help end the epidemic once and for all. Liling, CGTN, New York.